Well, welcome back to the Road Show, everybody. This morning in the Buzz, a bit of a sensitive subject. New research shows that abstinence education may be effective, after all, in preventing young people from having sex. The University of Pennsylvania study compared two groups of 6th and 7th graders, one attending sessions that focused heavily on abstinence, and another receiving combined information about abstinence and contraception. Only about a third of the students in the abstinence group started having sex within the next 2 years, while nearly half of those in the other group became sexually active. Some doctors say this is good news.
I think it's very exciting to see a study that actually suggests that abstinence may actually lead to a decrease in pregnancy as well as in sexually transmitted diseases.
Well, I think that's pretty clear that abstinence does lead to a decrease. The question is, does the education work? What do you think?
Well, you know, Vince and I were having a little preliminary debate about this earlier, and I think that it can work. I mean, you have to... Now, I know there's been debates in the past about how young is too young to start teaching your kids, but I think they picked a very age-appropriate crowd. And we were talking, what, sixth graders?
I think they were 7th and 8th graders.
Which is 13 now?
Yeah, well, so it's like 12-year-olds, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a good age, I think, to teach them the abstinence only.
Oh, today, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
12-year-olds today, they know a lot.
They do, and I think, obviously, it doesn't play with the 17 and 8-year-olds. Let's face it. But a younger crowd, I think, why not teach them that way to start?
I think you need to go down.
And then I think you move up with, you know, more options the older that you get.
I think you need to go down both streets. I think, obviously, I would definitely, you know, kind of preach the abstinence and you know, waiting till you're married and that. But I think you also have to cover being safe and using precaution, because bottom line is kids are still going to
Yeah, but then it's not abstinence only then, and that's the whole point of what they're trying to say.
I think you still have to cover
the safety. I have a 13-year-old that I'm going to be brutally honest with everybody here, and I'm going to tell you what I told her.
Yep.
Number one, respect yourself.
Right.
Because once you lose it, you never ever get it back.
Right.
It's gone forever. Number two, oral sex is sex. I don't care what anybody says. It's sex. Okay? Be careful of that. And number three, it's okay. Having sex is healthy. One day you're going to have it. But just be careful and be sure about the person that you have it with.
I think, you know, as a parent, too, you have to... Your daughter's 13?
Correct.
Not that you want to set an age limit on it, but I think parents maybe are a little more okay at 18, 19 than at 12 or 13.
Well, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't telling her at 12 years old to go have sex.
No, I know. But that's why I think it's, you know, when we go back to what we're discussing here, which is the abstinence only, you got to have appropriate discussions along the way, and it obviously changes and develops as kids change and develop.
And here's the other thing. So far, we've only been talking about girls. We got to talk about guys, too.
I know, you're right. We do talk about the girls.
Okay, because the guy's got something called testosterone.
Right.
And he will tell you anything and lie to you about anything to get what he wants.
And you know, you talk about respect. That's the lesson the guys got to learn from day one, too.
Absolutely.
Both ways with the respect.
It's a two-way street.
You know?
You're right.
Do we need to spell it? R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Aretha Franklin, my friend.
All right. Sure, a lot of people are talking about it today, but what are people talking about on the live blog now, Courtney?
You know, they're sharing some personal stories, and they're not divided about how this should be taught in school. Everyone thinks it should be both, you know, abstinence and contraception. So I can read a few comments here, and we have some friends on Facebook who are weighing in as well. So they're saying both for sure, you know, because at least if they, you know, fail with abstinence, they have a backup. And Aaron S. says, I'm not looking forward to that talk. I have a 10-year-old and 8-year-old girls. And Evan's saying, be safe and be prepared. So everybody is in agreement with that there. Here's our poll on foxprovidence.com. Which teaching method do you think is most effective for young students? A, abstinence, B, abstinence and contraception, or C, neither? Leave it to the parents. And here's what some of our friends on Facebook are saying. Corey Freitas says, I think abstinence and contraception, young people need to know the risks, whether we like it or not. And Regina Foster says, with the different types of personalities, I believe a combination of both abstinence and contraception is best. And John Cook says it's hard to teach kids that they should wait for sex when all the TV shows they watch show the kids having sex. We need old TV back, he says. So if you guys feel differently or just want to jump in and weigh in on this, I've also posted the link about this study if you want to read more about it on foxprovidence.com. I'll be back in about a half hour with your poll results. So for now, back to the kitchen.